And good morning. It is 8:07 on News Talk 1079. Welcome to this Thursday, make that Wednesday edition of the Neal Larson Show. If you'd like to reach the program, the number, of course, is the Stones Automotive Group call and text line, 208-542-1079. Would love your thoughts today. Half an hour from now, we'll talk with Congressman Mike Simpson. In the middle, he's back in Washington. We thought we might have him in studio, but Chuck Schumer, Chuck Schumer didn't cry uncle, but he's such an ineffective leader that there were some Democrat defectors. They got the government reopened. The Democrats caved, and that's why Congressman Simpson will not be in studio with us.
I know. We're still having him, though, so it'll be great.
So here's the thing. What a bunch of wusses. I'm going to criticize them if they keep the government shut down. I'm going to mock them if they cave and reopen it. So either way.
We said last hour, the problem is it never should have happened. If Chuck Schumer wanted to go through this unscathed, he shouldn't have gone through it.
Right, that's true.
It's like walking through thorny bushes and thinking you're going to be all right when you come out the other side. You're not going to.
Did they want a risk-free endeavor here?
I believe they assumed it would be. Don't you think that's how they thought Kamala was risk-free?
Oh, yeah,
they thought
that's
Tim
true.
Walz was risk-free.
Why do they think everybody thinks their crud doesn't stink? It's such a weird approach. Like everything we do, the people will love.
Yeah, well, that's how they approach everything. They think Gavin is risk-free. Buttigieg has been called out over the last few days. Buttigieg has been called out over the last few days. He retweeted something, and all he said, I'll get to this after I'm done making dinner for the boys.
He said that?
Uh-huh. So I might have said twins instead of boys. I can't remember how he said. I thought, you don't even understand how this game works. You don't even get it. Mm-hmm. You have been mocked relentlessly.
Yeah.
That you took time off for parental leave and nobody even knew you were gone. And now you think your big comeback is to say, I'll get to this later. I got to make dinner for my kids.
Nobody noticed you were gone for 2 months and you think if you're gone for 2 hours, the world's going to care.
That's how unaware they are.
Unaware, but also self-centered and self-aggrandizing. Mm-hmm. What is his job now? Is he doing anything?
I don't know if he's doing anything, but reality check, Pete, everybody makes dinner. That's what middle America is doing all the time.
You don't need to tell us that you'll be back. Okay.
People don't have to take breaks when they make dinner.
Yeah.
They keep living.
Weird. And it's sad when dinner is your break from social media.
Yeah.
That's sad. That makes me really sad. Hey, by the way, Julie, there is a community town hall meeting tonight.
Okay.
And it's sponsored in part by the Mountain States Policy Center, which is an awesome regional think tank that defends and stands up for, usually, for conservative causes. There's also a website called Idaho Kids Win. And tonight from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn and Suites in Idaho Falls, Wendy Horman will be there. Jeremy Chow is going to be there as well. He's an attorney for Givens Pursley. And then let me make this a little bigger. Hold on. Heidi Nessett is with a group called Yes Every Kid. So this is the anti-panic tour.
It really is. I just went to the website, idahokidswin.com. It's basically the opposite of the Save Our Schools website.
Yeah.
It's got town halls that you can go to learn about how parental choice can be used. There's one in Moscow, one in Pocatello, that one in Idaho Falls that's tonight at the Holiday Inn. Yeah, great website.
Can I run a slogan by you and see what you think? Mm-hmm. We're tired of the other side yakking and whining and complaining. So I think this side should say, not a holler more.
It's great.
Stop your hollering.
Not a holler more.
Not a holler more.
Yeah.
Quit your whining, you bunch of babies. Parental choice is a reality in Idaho.
It is.
Get over it.
It's happening. Okay, one more thing, because words matter to me.
Yeah.
Save Our Schools is about making sure these people's jobs are taken care of.
What about Save Our Kids?
Idaho Kids Win is about kids.
That's true. That's a really, really good point. You know what, Julie? When we talk about like the teachers' unions not giving a crap about kids, they don't really push back on that too much. I think they're actually open about, no, we're here to back the teachers' jobs and whatever. I think the kids are an afterthought, if they're a thought at all, to the unions and to those institutionalists that are protecting everything that they possibly can about K through 12.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I love this. I love that kids is the center focus of all of this.
Yeah. That's a good catch on that. I mean, even that topic of Save Our Schools, schools are great, but schools are nothing without the children.
They don't exist if you don't have kids.
They have no purpose without the children. So the children are the priority. That's what we should elevate in all of society, in all of our discussions. What's going to educate our kids the best? Not what's going to save an institution that we like. It's what's going to help our kids. And so I like that. That's good. IdahoKidsWin.com if you want to check out the anti-panic tour. And we'll keep an eye on this. I don't know if they're doing... Well, let's look at the town hall meetings. There's a section there.
Yeah, there is a section. So if you go to IdahoKidsWin.com, you can RSVP for tonight's meeting at the Holiday Inn. It's super friendly. It's on the first page. You just scroll down. And it looks like quite a few are attending. It's somewhere around 56 have RSVP'd. So should be a good night filled with great questions.
So one thing that they did one of these a couple of weeks ago, and it got ambushed by the panic people. And so I don't know if they're doing anything to adjust to that. They made it so it was hard to even conduct a meeting. And there's a reason why you do that, why you try to silence people and to try to keep them from getting their message out. It's because you know their message is resonating. So keep an eye out for the. In fact, what I would say to our listeners, and by the way, they're not paying for any advertising. We're just this is a cause that you and I support. If you'll go to IdahoKidsWin.com, click on Town Hall Meetings, RSVP to tonight's Idaho Falls Town Hall. There's another one tomorrow in Pocatello, I believe, as well, November 13th. There's some in other parts of the state later on in December. But tonight's Idaho Falls, tomorrow's Pocatello. Snag up those RSVPs as if you're supportive of this, and most of our audience is, so that it can't get ambushed by the people who don't want the discussion to take place.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
We didn't ambush their stupid meetings.
We'll review them. We'll talk about them, and that's available to them too. They can Save Our Schools can put up sound bites from this meeting if they want to. That's called communication and analyzing and reviewing. But being a nuisance, that's a completely different thing.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said stupid meetings, but they just got so predictable.
Not $1 more.
Not $1 more.
It was basically a rally is what it was.
Yeah, kind of. It was a fundraiser, too. There were calls for people to make donations, which...
Yeah.
That gets a little dicey.
It's kind of sticky when you jump into that realm.
You've got to be careful if that's what you're doing at a public meeting. So, all right. It's 8:16 on News Talk 107.9. Julie, we talked earlier about the dope smoking initiative that they're trying to get on the ballot. What? You laugh at that when I say that.
I just think it's funny that we're never going to call it anything but dope here. That's just what it's going to be.
I'm just kidding. It's just, I don't know. In my mind, it just fits to call it the dope smoking initiative. Because, we've heard from moderate lawmakers that are like, yes, thank you for bringing this up because you don't want it to happen. Now, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think the actual initiative says we want to smoke dope legally
for medical purposes.
Oh, okay.
It's for medical, right?
Yeah, it is medical.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that little
I want to make sure we're right here.
Now, if they were totally honest, they would say We want to smoke dope legally for medical purposes right now, but eventually we just want it to be recreational so that we don't have to worry about getting arrested. Whatever. So,
And the shorter version will be, we want to smoke dope legally, medically. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah.
That's what the poster is going to say. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
And I'm going to start having headaches all the time. And I'll need medicine for that. Yeah. I mean, we know how this works. Can we just be honest about it?
We need to be.
I really think that we're engaged in a charade over this. Well, medicinal marijuana. We want it for medicinal reasons. No, you don't. You want to be able to just smoke it and just say it. Just be honest about it. We had a cautious caller last week that called in saying, I think we should think about this medicinal. And then, we had a little bit of a discussion, found out that, well, eventually, if it would make sense and there was revenue coming in and blah, 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 blah. All the tired talking points that they put forward, all in favor of eventually everyone gets to smoke dope legally, then I'm like, let's just start there. Let's just start with your end goal. Mm-hmm. Don't disingenuously put forward this qualified, we just want it for medical reasons. Because we all know you're all lying. Everybody, lying in the form of half-truths. Nobody out there wants it for just medical reasons who is spearheading this effort. Mm-hmm. Now, there are people who maybe they genuinely want it only for medical because they have someone who has cancer or someone like that. I think there are those people. I think the organizers of this, they're the ones that they have this incremental approach where first it's just medical because it's a much more sellable option. But then...
And necessary, too, for some people.
Yeah.
The problem is it's so abused.
Yeah.
And I do believe that is their intent. Exactly what you said, that this is a step by degrees for them. And I don't know how to fight the revenue conversation.
Yeah.
I would agree. Would it probably make money? Sure. Are we going to sell the soul of our kids for money?
No, we're not.
I'm not going to sit here and say, no, it won't make money. It probably will make money.
Yeah.
I care more about children than that.
Well, you know what, Julie, let's add to that roster of questions because every initiative, I think you need a Crane question, a question against which there is no defense. And for Prop 1, it was... no, not Prop 1. For House Bill 93, it was, why do you want to keep middle-aged or middle-class kids from having a private education?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good question. For this one, I would say, how much higher are you willing to allow the youth suicide rate to go so you can have medical marijuana?
Mm-hmm. How much more psychosis among your residents in your area are you willing to embrace in order to have revenue from marijuana?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Someone referenced something I said earlier. Mm-hmm. Said, as Neal has said, for many, it's like they look at Playboy for the articles. Yeah. Okay, well, let's take a break, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's 8:21. News Talk 107.9. The Stones Automotive Group call and text line is 208-542-1079. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. 8:25 now. News Talk 107.9. So do all of y'all have your turkey yet? Might I suggest Grand Peaks Prime Meats, Julie? Mm-hmm. And not just turkey. You could have Thanksgiving ribs.
Okay.
I think that would be perfectly good.
Let's do it.
Some people aren't the biggest fans of turkey. Like you can get turkey from Grand Peaks Prime Meats, but maybe like rethink it a little bit, you know.
We were there picking up meat during the holiday season last year.
Yeah.
There are people walking out with these beautiful cuts of prime rib.
Yeah.
That's another option.
You could have Thanksgiving fajitas. I don't know why you're laughing at that.
I'm I'm not laughing because I've done this. You
Yeah.
know, I did
Yeah.
a Chinese Thanksgiving once. We did Chinese food for Thanksgiving. We did a fondue Thanksgiving once. Everything we had was dipped in something.
Like, you don't know. The Pilgrims might have sat down and had fajitas.
They might have.
I doubt they did, but it's possible.
French dips. They might have done that.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing. The French dip, the sandwich, surrenders to the au
Yes.
jus.
It's like
Yeah.
a petty nod.
Yes, right. Exactly. So it's revolutionary. Can I just say that? The French dip is revolutionary at Grand Peaks Prime Meats.
Go to gpprimemeats.com. Check out everything that they have. Let them help you make the best Thanksgiving dinner. However you're choosing to celebrate,
Yeah.
They can help you with your protein needs. So again, gpprimemeats.com, gpprimemeats.com.
Okay, there's a story out, Julie. I just saw this. Apparently, Eric Swalwell has named Washington, D.C., his home there as his principal residence and does not have a California address.
Is that legal?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, you have to have the address to run.
Right.
I don't know if you need to keep a legal address to stay in Congress. So I'd have to talk to my research team about that. But I'm thinking that's weird.
But you run every 2 years.
I know. Like, why wouldn't you have that? It says a public deed of trust for Swalwell's D.C. home at 209 South Street Northeast, dated April 18th, 2022, confirms the property is designated as his principal residence as a condition of the loan. The deed includes explicit language making the borrower liable for false or misleading statements regarding occupancy. Borrower shall be in default if borrower gave materially false, misleading, or inaccurate information or statements to lender. Material representations include borrower's occupancy of the property as borrower's principal residence.
Okay, that was way too much legalese.
Yeah. I apologize if all of you are asleep now.
You lost me after the third borrow.
Okay.
Borrower, borrow.
Borrowee, borrower, section, subsection, LE3 94.2. So under Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution, it says that members of Congress must be inhabitants of the state they represent at the time of their election.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, it's Brad from Now 105.1 and QP99. I'm in the studio here. I love our studios, by the way. Ranger Rick back there. There's Neal and Julie doing their thing. Hey, when you want to advertise on the radio, what do? You call the radio station, right? But what do you do when you want to advertise on Facebook and Instagram and Hulu and Disney Plus and Peacock and the other TV streaming services? You can kind of click around on them and make guesses or read books or take courses online on how to do that advertising. Or you could call us at the radio station. At Sandhill Media, we take care of your local radio and digital marketing. So reach out to us at sandhillmediagroup.com and we'll make sure that your message gets heard and seen wherever your customers are.
Okay. So basically you can sell your home, but if you're going to get wanting to be reelected, you got to buy a new home.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's every 2 years. This is not a Senate seat.
So it says if Swalwell's true domicile is in Washington, D.C., the city where he has declared his principal residence, he may no longer meet the basic requirement of being a California inhabitant. Public records searches have not revealed any home ownership or lease under Eric Swalwell's name in California. The address most often associated with his background in Livermore is 320 Mitchell Court. It's a 3-bedroom, 1,350 square foot home that belongs to the Murzilka family, who's lived there continuously since 2008, making it highly unlikely that Swalwell resides there today.
Was he couch surfing? 2008?
Do you not have to approve your residency when you run? We went through this when the whole Barack Obama born in Kenya birther thing was going on. It's a constitutional requirement. And with all of the agencies and government bureaucracy that we have, Is there no one in charge to spend some money to find out, to verify exactly that the candidates are actually who they say they are and from where they say they're from?
I don't know why there wouldn't be. I mean, we shared a story on Facebook Live yesterday that they're paying people $70,000 a year to wander around the streets of San Diego and look inside people's garbage cans.
Yeah.
How can we not have somebody who checks for this kind of thing?
That vets, that's the first check mark that the Constitution gives you.
Yes.
Is you got to be an inhabitant of where you represent. So where is Eric Swalwell's house in California? That's a great question. Where does he and Fang Fang go when they're not in Washington, D.C.?
She demands a luxury suite at the Hilton.
Yeah, probably so. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with one of Fang Fang's boyfriend's colleagues, Congressman Mike Simpson. That was convoluted. We'll be back after this.
Any of your skin.
It's 8:38. Wednesday morning, Neal and Julie, and joining us from the nation's capital. We thought we might have him in studio, but no, it looks like the ice jam is breaking. Government about to be funded again and reopening, and we're pleased to be joined by Congressman Mike Simpson this morning. Congressman, welcome. How are you?
Good to be with you.
Well,
I wish I was there in person instead of here, but it's time we got this government reopened. It's long past time.
So it's been 40-ish, I think, 40-plus days. How many of those days, were you in Washington for a lot of that time, just thinking maybe it will reopen? What were you able to do during that time?
Well, the first when it was first shut down, I was in Idaho and had meetings and all that kind of stuff, and then I came back because I had some stuff I had to do here in Washington, and then I've been working here from Washington for the last couple of weeks. Had events going on here that I needed to attend, dinners and a few things like that, and then meetings during the day and that type of stuff. But it's obviously a lot slower than it normally is. But we have things we need to get ready to go that we've been planning on as soon as the government opens, trying to get the appropriations process moving along. So that's what I've been working on.
Okay, so I guess give us a real quick status update. We know that we had a handful, seven or eight moderate Democrat senators that said, okay, it's time to reopen the government. They're going to join the Republican majority and get over the filibuster threshold, passing a funding bill, which now goes over to the House. So maybe give us the timeline of the events over the next day or two.
Well, what we plan on doing, and the big challenge is getting the members back here with the airlines going on and the cancellations and stuff. But they gave us notice on Monday saying we would probably vote on Wednesday, so start making your way back here. And I suspect some have got some harrowing stories about sleeping in airports and a few things. But we are going to take up today at 4 o'clock the resolution for the rule to allow us to debate the continuing resolution that was passed by the Senate. And then about 5 o'clock, we will take up, assuming the rule passes, which it will, we will take up the continuing resolution. And by 7 o'clock, we ought to have the government back open again.
Okay, so you just said which it should pass. You're not expecting any hiccups at all, or any extended debate about these brief changes to this CR?
You hope for the best, but plan for the worst. There can always be some hiccups along the way. Some people might be upset about something or rather within, because this has attached to it 3 appropriation bills, also conference reports for the ag appropriation, the Veterans Affairs Military Construction Bill, and for the legislative branch. And whenever you have an appropriation bill, there's going to be things in it that somebody doesn't like or wishes were different or something like that. I noticed that when it passed the Senate, Rand Paul voted against it. Now, he voted against it theoretically because it had a provision in the ag appropriation bill that he didn't like. It was for unregulated hemp growth and growing and stuff like that. and it was putting some restrictions on that. He didn't like that, so he voted against it for that reason. Now, are there some of those in the House when it comes over today? Well, that's what leadership is trying to find out right now. They've been whipping it, and I think that the fact that it opens the government again, gets the paychecks going. I mean, I just listened to Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation. He says that within 48 hours to 72 hours, paychecks will go out for 70% of the pay. I don't know exactly how this works, but for 70% of the pay for the back pay for the air traffic controllers, which have been working now for 5 or 6 weeks without a paycheck. That's got to get done, and it's going to take, even if this passes tonight, which I assume it's going to, it's going to take a week or two for the airports and airlines to get back on schedule again. So it's going to interrupt probably the Thanksgiving holidays and stuff just because of this shutdown.
We're talking with Congressman Mike Simpson. Congressman, what can you tell us about SNAP benefits? We know it's sort of a patchwork because each state is a little bit different, but will that money start flowing similar to the timeline of the paychecks being sent out to the federal employees?
Yeah, I think so. I know that it will be available as soon as this passes, so I suspect that they, because one of the important bills in this CR is actually the ag appropriation bill, which does the SNAP benefits. And now this gets a little complicated. With these three bills passing, the ledge branch, the ag appropriations, and the VA Milcon, those bills are conference reports, which means they are funding those programs and those agencies until September 30th of next year. So that's the full year funding bill for them. So even if, say, January 31st came along and there was another shutdown for some reason, I don't anticipate that there would be, but I didn't anticipate this one either. But if there was, the SNAP benefits would already be appropriated in the appropriation bill that we will pass in this CR. So there's those three bills would get passed between now and the end of January. We hope to get all of the other 9 appropriation bills done, so that would have full year funding for all those. But so those SNAP benefits should be going out as soon as this bill passes.
Let's chat. I know we're talking so much about the shutdown, but it has dominated the headlines clearly, and for good reason. These subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, for Obamacare. Let's chat about that for a second. Neal and I were kind of trying to foretell, be our own little fortune tellers here about what's going to happen with that. I took a cynical view, thinking, I think that we're going to eventually end up passing the subsidies anyways. But my question to you is, do you see it differently there? Do you see Republicans and in both the House and the Senate holding strong on this and not continuing with those subsidies when you approach that in a few weeks?
It's going to be an interesting and important debate. The reason I've been opposed to the extending the subsidies is that they were put into effect. They were emergency during COVID and that kind of stuff. And the Democrats were in the majority, and they passed these subsidies without any Republican votes. They passed these subsidies for the Unaffordable Care Act so that people could continue to get their insurance and stuff. And they were set to expire, to sunset at the end of this year. That was put in the legislation by the Democrats, and now they're blaming us for their health care problem. The real problem with it is it doesn't reduce the cost of health care. And that's the goal that we've got to focus on. And that's what Republicans are trying to do. And I don't think that you're going to extend the subsidies without some major reforms of the health care system in general. And that's, at least a majority of Republicans are feeling that way. But it's going to put a lot of pressure on some people, some Republicans from more moderate districts, New York, et cetera, and a few of those, to vote to extend them for another year. And the problem is, if you extend them for another year, what you're going to do is next year you're going to be in this same debate. We need to take on the tough job of actually reforming the healthcare system and making it so that individuals are responsible for their health care and getting their health insurance, help those that need help and that kind of stuff, and quit funding the insurance companies.
Congressman, President Trump has weighed in on this in the last few days, and he has said, I mean, he obviously thinks Obamacare is a disaster because it's easy to make that conclusion. But he also said, we want more money in the pockets of Americans for their own health care rather than paying super high premiums to pay for a super high health care system. Let a more competitive environment exist and would still have insurance, but it would be a lot more competitive. Do you think Trump's using his bully pulpit, even though there will be this temptation to kind of let it to cover the ill effects of Obamacare with subsidies, Trump's not going to let this one go. He'll keep bringing it to the surface in the news cycle and in the public discussion. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that, and I think he's absolutely right on. We need to make individuals more involved in their healthcare decisions and so forth. I mean, that's the only way in the long run that you're going to bring down the cost of healthcare. I compare it to people who think that because the cost of college tuitions have gotten so high that the administration and previous administration said, well, we're going to pay off your student loans and stuff like that. Well, that doesn't address the issue of the high cost of going to college and what tuitions are costing and stuff. And we've got to reduce those costs. All that paying off your tuition does is put pressure on to increase the cost of college because somebody else is paying for it. And so there's no pressure to keep the costs down. That's the same thing with healthcare. If somebody else is paying for it, where's the pressure to get the best healthcare at the cheapest price you can? That's what competition is all about. It is interesting to note that when Obamacare was passed, they called it the Affordable Care Act. It is obviously the Unaffordable Care Act. There were a lot of Democrats at the time that were opposed to Obamacare that voted for it. Bernie Sanders being the lead proponent, and he told it, and a lot of people said, a lot of the Democrats said, don't worry, this is just the first step to a one-payer system. And they're absolutely right. If we just continue these subsidies, eventually you're going to end up with a one-payer system run by the government, and that, to me, is the worst thing we could do for our healthcare system in this country.
All right, Congressman, with this, what appears to be quite the battle that has occurred in the Senate, and we've had a lot of war of words through the media and everything. How do you feel now that you're back in Washington that like everyone's treating each other? Was this just another step for lawmakers? They're like, yeah, this is how we do it, and there was no real grudges? Or are there going to be some scores settled down the road because of the difficulties that have happened over the last 45 days?
I think I don't know if you'd call it scores settled, but yeah, there's going to be some of that goes on because, I look back at these 42 days or whatever it was that the government has been closed, and I'm kind of still trying to figure out what were the Democrats trying to accomplish with this. They asked us for two things on the CR, the Appropriations Committee. They said, make it short term, and there were a lot of people talking about going until the end of January or so. So we made it short term till the end of November, till the 21st of November. That was one thing they asked for. The second thing is no poison pills. Make it as clean as possible. This was the cleanest CR I've ever seen in my life. We gave them both things that they requested, and then they voted against it. And I am still trying to figure out what their goal was with all this. If it was just to bring up the issue of the health care subsidies, those don't expire till the end of the year. And yes, it is a concern. The cost of health care is a concern for both Republicans and Democrats, and we've got to start talking about it. We knew those were going to expire, but shut the government down over that just seems illogical to me. So I don't know what they were trying to accomplish other than trying to say we can fight back with the Trump administration. But you look at what they were also requesting wasn't just the health care subsidies. They were going to take away some of the provisions in the One Big Beautiful Bill, the $50 billion fund that went to rural hospitals so that it kept them alive and stuff. It also took away the provision that made them do the background check on individuals applying for Medicaid so that we weren't paying the $200 billion a year that we're paying now for illegals to get Medicaid, which they're not supposed to get. And they took away that provision that made them do the background checks on this to make sure that they were legally qualified to get Medicaid. So I don't understand where they were coming from, frankly. This is one of the most confusing shutdowns I've ever seen.
I think it's Senator Lankford that put forward an idea, and it's actually a pretty good idea, so it has very little chance of getting passed in Congress. But basically, that in the case that you run to the end of the budget and there's not a new budget, it will default to basically clean CR status, which is, okay, keep the paychecks going. We don't ever shut down the government. We just default to current levels of spending. But I think both sides actually like the leverage of a shutdown to be able to get what they want. And that's probably why it's the good idea that won't happen in Congress.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that both sides have used that. There are some people that I know, people on my side of the aisle, as well as the Democratic side, think that a government shutdown is a strategy that they can use that puts leverage, gives them leverage. And you've heard all the Democrats talk about this is the only leverage point they had and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't think that I think you're right that it probably wouldn't pass in that regard. It would be like a perpetual CR. The other thing that having to do a CR does is it puts pressure on Congress to get their job done. Now, it hasn't put enough pressure on us to get it actually all done, our appropriations, by October 1st. But knowing that you might not be able to pass the CR and you might run into the situation that we're currently in puts pressure on Congress to act before that occurs. If you take that away and say, well, if we just don't pass the CR, we don't like the appropriation bills, then the funding is just going to still go on. There's no penalty for that. I think there needs to be a penalty for it. And we need to be able to pass a budget resolution, which we haven't done in years and years. Harry Reid stopped doing them in the Senate, and then so why would the House do one? Because we have nothing to conference with in the Senate. We need to do a budget resolution, then we need to get our appropriation bills done on time.
Yeah. Well, Congressman, we just have a minute left. We wanted to talk about other things besides the shutdown, but it's sort of overtaken everything. Really quick, it looks like this bill is going to fund the government to the end of January. What do you think it looks like beyond that? I know you mentioned that earlier. You think that we will have a funded government by the end of January, but what does that look like, if you can give us a 1-minute version of that?
Well, I think you can get, out of the 9 bills that are remaining, appropriation bills to fund the government, I'm pretty sure we can get 6, maybe 7 of them done, maybe all 9. I don't know. But if we get 6 or 7 of them done, you'd have 95% of the government funded, and then you're still going to have to do a CR for those maybe 2 bills or so that you couldn't get done by January 21st. Our goal is to get them all done by January 21st, and that's what we're going to be working on. That's why I've been back here for the last few weeks, is to get ready for the Interior bill, to get ready to go to the floor and go to conference so that it'll be ready, as well as the Energy and Water bill and the Transportation bill, which I think are the next package of what we'll do. So I think we'll get the government funded, and hopefully we'll get it fully funded by the 21st of January. The other thing that's important is that we need to get it done by the 21st of January, because we need to be working on next year's appropriation bills. And this kind of puts us a little bit behind the 8 ball. If we get it done by January 21st, we can still move on.
Okay, good enough. We'll leave it at that. Congressman, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we really appreciate you making time for us today.
You bet, Neal. Good to talk to you both.
All right, it's 8:55. We'll be back on News Talk 107.9. All right, Julie, hour 2 coming up. Talk to you in a few. It's 8:59. (9:07). Welcome back on News Talk 107.9. It's Neal Larson along with Julie Mason. And if you would like to join us on the program, 208-542-1079. It's interesting, Julie, to watch the TV. Right here we have Hakeem Jeffries saying healthcare is on the brink of being unaffordable. And it's interesting that he used a version of a word that had affordable in it. I find that fascinating. In fact, let's listen.
Unable to afford to go see a doctor.
Yeah, I love all the things they're saying about Obamacare right now. I mean, I don't like it, but I love that Democrats finally are assessing Obamacare and its lack of success.
Realizing how horrible it actually was for the American people.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what they don't understand is they think that they're trying to create the catalyst to extend the COVID subsidies. I actually think it's possible they're creating the catalyst to repeal and replace Obamacare.
I think that that's possible too. Maybe they realize how horrible it is, and can they somehow blame the Republicans for how horrible it is, and that's why they have to make the changes that they're making.
Yeah, maybe it is. And you know what? If we need to create a scenario where the Democrats get to blame the Republicans for the healthcare crisis, but it ends up repealing and replacing Obamacare, sign me up. I'll take the blame. I don't care. I just want to get rid of the behemoth.
I'll be in on it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, what I think, and I think we're gonna fill this with this current shutdown. I don't think people remember these. Do you remember the details of the 35-day shutdown? The one that was the longest prior to this one?
No, I don't.
And look this is your job.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think we're going in a matter of weeks. No one's going to remember any of this.
Yeah.
So who cares who they blame? Just get rid of the ACA.
Exactly. Isn't it time? Like it's been, Julie, it was passed in 2010. It has been 15 years. Mm-hmm. And we've had 15 years to examine how effective it's been. Is it serving the American people? And if you have to prop it up by extending subsidies that initially were for a pandemic that no longer is around, that means failure. That means it did not work. And so it is time to have that discussion. And I never would have imagined this, that we'd be having this discussion, because I I have this pessimism that, and I remember it was actually David Parker, the late David, it was
insurance agent,
good friend of mine. And he would say to me, he's like, love it or hate it, Obamacare is part of the fabric of the American healthcare system. And he was right. Mm-hmm. It just got woven into what we're doing. But I do think when the pain gets bad enough and it's just not functional anymore, it will be a catalyst for us to go a different direction, and it'll take a while. We're gonna have to dismantle it piece by piece, replace it with something better. But I do think there is a pathway out of Obamacare. It's just kind of painful and lengthy.
You know what question I would like answered? Who does the kicking and screaming out of this? Who creates the biggest tantrum in exiting Obamacare? Is it the insurance agencies? Is it actually big profit hospitals? Who's going to scream that they don't want it to go away? Because clearly people are making money off of it.
Yeah, they are. They are making money off of it. I actually think it's the insurance companies. Providers to some degree, but I do believe that providers would like insurance to be much less complicated. They'd like billing to be a lot less complicated. And I think the biggest recipients of this have been the insurance companies and for a while the Democrat Party, because a lot of their voters are paying nothing for health care.
Right.
And so that was the appeal. It was a way to take from wealthy people, many of whom vote Republican, so they're not getting their votes anyway, and to make health care free or incredibly affordable via subsidies to likely Democrat voters. It really was a political game, but I think that imbalance is getting so bad now that there's not the political will anymore to obscure the ill effects of Obamacare. I think Congress is saying, look, it's 5 years since we've had the pandemic. We cannot just keep indefinitely extending these subsidies. We can't. It made sense in the pandemic to limit the amount that families pay in premiums to a percentage of their income. but that is making the program unsustainable. We just can't do that anymore.
Well, and the big issue with that is you're harming the middle class the most. The people who actually get their insurance via an employer, the people who are private paying their insurance because they own small businesses. Those are the people that are being harmed the most. And out of their same side of their mouth, they're going to say, yeah, but they're the lifeblood of America.
Yeah.
Well, you're squeezing them so tightly, they're no longer going to be able to help you with that heartbeat.
So, it brings up, and this is the case that happens anytime you have, I say socialism, but really any system that is redistributing wealth and deconcentrating wealth, basically. You're moving it from wealthy people to poor people. Anytime you have that happen, which that's what Obamacare does, you have people, they stop pulling the wagon and they get in the wagon. So they're not contributors, they are decontributors. They're actually costing.
Yeah, they make it harder.
And after this Obamacare is the exact reason why socialism doesn't work, because after a while, the burden on the few pulling the wagon, they can't do it anymore because there are more people in the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And so you either have to, there are certain systems that work with socialism. That there are a few that we're like, okay, this isn't going to make financial sense, but you do it anyway. Like your military. Like the military doesn't make money. There's no ROI on military other than we're free. We have freedom and we have prosperity, and so there is, but you can't put a dollar ROI on it. And so there are a few things that it does make sense to socialize, but healthcare isn't one of them. You look at, you walk into Walmart anytime after Black Friday and between Black Friday and Christmas, you will be shocked at how cheap a very obscenely large big screen TV is. That's because government didn't try to make them affordable.
Government stayed out of the production of big screen TVs.
They stayed out of it, and they just let the market do the work. They let economic scale do the work. Mm-hmm. And now anybody can go into Walmart, and any middle-class American can go into Walmart, and for a small fraction of a single paycheck can buy a very, very large TV that is way too much TV for them to be watching.
We do live in a land of bounty.
Do you remember when the big TV was 19 inches?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh, totally.
Oh, wow, we got a 19-inch TV.
Uh-huh.
That's like, I think they're measuring, there are TVs now that have their own zip code. I don't know if you knew that or not. There are TVs that are bigger than football fields now.
And you've put it on the cart.
My TV.
And you try to fit it in the back of your Subaru.
My TV is applying for statehood next week. No. How big is your biggest TV in your house?
Oh, don't ask me this. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's at least it's that size behind you, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Yeah. There's one that size.
I think ours is 70 inches, but they have some
that are.
What is
this one?
That's probably a 55 or 60. That might be a 60.
Yeah, it's at least that size. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, but it doesn't matter. Like it's like, yeah.
I don't watch it enough to care. I know there's people going, no, it matters.
Yes.
It doesn't matter to me.
You know what? I'm curious for this. Can I have an indulgence for just a moment on my radio show? I want listeners to text in how big their biggest TV is.
Okay.
How many inches? I'm just curious because they make them 85 inches.
Do they?
Now. Oh,
They're that big now?
Yeah, they've got 85 inches. I think that's maybe, I don't know. I walk into Costco and I'm like, holy crap, that's a big TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I am curious to see how big is your TV.
That wasn't near feminine enough. Try again.
No, I'm not trying to sound. You do it because I can do it.
We have a listener that said, I helped a guy load up an 85-inch TV at Sam's Club pickup on Saturday. Took him 5 years to talk his wife into buying it.
Really?
85 inches.
That's a big TV. That's a big TV.
Lots of people are in like the 65, 70 range.
Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, which kind of makes sense because I think after a while it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
It's funny. Somebody said projector is the only way to go, and that is going to be the future. I have kids who've chosen to do that instead of have TVs on their wall.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, like especially Marley, who lives in the teeny apartment at the med school campus. There's not room for anything extra.
Right, that's
so
true.
they project it onto the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody has a 42-inch.
Way to hold strong.
Yes. Someone said 72-inch TV, but I've never bought a TV bigger than 12 inches. We find them free on Marketplace.
Oh, people give away 72-inch TVs on Marketplace?
Oh, I think so. The thing is, this underscores my original point here.
Yeah.
Is that there are so many excess TVs out there. You can't. I would bet you if you went to the DI and asked them, they probably say we get so many computer monitors and TVs. There's no way we can put them all out on the floor. A lot of them probably get donated to the electronics recycler place, and that, so it's just because you allowed competition to take place, and it's an item in high demand. Nearly everyone has multiple TVs in their home, so healthcare is the same way. If we would let the market work, make providers fight for our dollars, and you introduce some transparency so it's easier for people to shop around, we will see those prices come down really fast.
You're making me think now because I like to peruse Zillow.
Yeah.
People do sell their houses. They empty out their furniture, put the house up for sale, but they leave the TV on the wall because it's mounted onto a bracket or whatever. And it's eyesore to leave the bracket there, and they don't want to fix the holes, and they'll just buy a new one wherever they're going. I have seen that, so this does make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Interesting. Well, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe I need to change my attitude and not be so cynical, because maybe we are going to see some major changes to the ACA.
Man, I hope so. And if there's anybody that could get it done, it's Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. I think that he's a guy that he knows how to negotiate. And now, thanks to the shutdown, thanks to it's sort of like looking at I had a crass comparison. I'm not going to make this comparison, but we've seen Obamacare in all of its nakedness, and the Democrats talking about it. They don't realize they are creating an arsenal of sound bites for the Republicans to use to repeal Obamacare.
I'll do what might be crass to some people, but it's the promise of visiting a nude beach, and you think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And then you show up at the nude beach, and you're like,
Oh,
I don't know if these people should have their clothes off.
You ran that through an Instagram filter, didn't you?
That's the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know what? Can we say that the subsidies were an Instagram filter to make Obamacare look hotter than it really was?
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Actually, not hotter, just less ugly. Because it's still ugly. Even with the subsidies, It's super, super expensive.
It's not beneficial. There might be a handful of people that it's really helping. There might be a handful of people that just absolutely love it, those who had pre-existing conditions and couldn't get health care. And I get that. I totally get that. But at what expense for everybody else?
Yeah. That's the thing, is there's such an out of balance here. Mm-hmm. So, all right, 9:22. News Talk 107.9. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. It's good to have everyone here together, gathered around the radio, like it's a campfire, and we're telling stories. Somebody take out that guitar.
I'm making s'mores.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds good. I'm off in the trees because I need to use the restroom again. So
I'm going to use Reese's instead of Hershey bars, though. Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah, that sounds
Add
like
a little peanut butter in there?
really good idea.
Okay.
I like that a lot. Did you buy the store brand graham crackers or the name brand graham crackers?
Oh, store brand, because they're better. And I bought baby marshmallows because I think they're better than the big fat ones.
Okay, that
Just
works
let
too.
them melt.
Yeah, that's true. They melt a little faster too. So, all right. We'll have some more of this when we get back on News Talk 107.9.
Yeah. Okay, if I show up at a Walmart, what is the smallest TV I can buy? Do they even carry the small ones anymore?
Probably like a 30-inch, but they're more like computer monitors. Like you can get like a little Roku TV for an apartment,
Okay.
like a student size, and so yeah, you can. And they're like under $100. Like they're
All right.
really cheap. Actually, let's
like
just go
for a
to
dorm room or whatever.
Let's go to Walmart.com. Let's find out. TV. Activate and hold button to confirm that you're human. Oh, this is...
They're running a tracker now on Fox News telling you the delays and the cancellations. So there's been 890 cancellations today.
Wow.
I might not get an option to fly.
You might not.
I might be driving to Arizona. Oh, Christine, good point. She said the smallest TVs are your phones, which is true.
That is true. Okay, in store. Okay, I don't want the press and hold thing. Walmart must be getting plastered with bots because...
It's asking a lot of your internet viewing.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like watching any shows or anything on my phone. I'm too blind.
Okay, here's an example. A 50-inch, which is a good-sized TV, $178 bucks.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. Size. Screen size. 32-inch and smaller. So there is a 32-inch. You can get a 32-inch Roku TV for $88. $74 if you buy Walmart's On brand, ONN. $74 for, it says 24 Class HD, and I don't know if that's like 24 inches.
How many TVs do you have in your house?
There's one in the garage, one downstairs, one in my mom's room. We had one in the kitchen, but it was one of those under-mounted counter. Took it out because it was just, some of the features weren't working on it very well. So, and threw that away. So 3. Well, we don't have one in our bedroom, so.
We have 4.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 of them really get turned on. The one in the basement probably gets watched. Well, it only gets watched when my kids come. So
yeah,
that's it. That's the only time that one gets turned on.
Yeah.
And then the other one that gets turned on not so frequently is the garage one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, 928 News Talk 107.9. Neal Larson along with Julie Mason. Another real quick plug for the Idaho Kids Win discussion tonight. In fact, let me go to that. Is that what it was? IdahoKidsWin.com?
Yes.
All right. And there are town hall meetings, actually, one tonight in Idaho Falls. Here's why I want our listeners to RSVP and go to this one, Julie. The last one they held got ambushed because the left is pretty good at organizing. So
that was North Idaho, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where.
Okay.
But they showed up. They took up the seats. They were disruptive. They do not want these people talking about parents having choices via a tax credit. They just don't. So let's fill the seats up with people who genuinely want to be there, hear more about it, and understand the issue.
Agreed. And I'm sure they will be going over, if you're interested in applying for this in January, I'm sure those questions will be able to be asked and you can understand how to take part in the tax credit, because I think a lot of people have questions about that. They probably also have questions about what is the reporting that's required, especially if I'm at home, if I'm a homeschooler instead of sending my kid to private school. So great place to get those questions answered and to just also hear about the benefits of school choice.
I had an idea. We could create a keyword and get people right to that RSVP. I want the keyword to be Carol with a K.
You know.
You won't let me
I
do
will
that?
not do that because that's
Okay.
creating work for me. I will
Okay.
gladly do it, but you got to give me another keyword. What do you want?
Okay, choice.
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 I actually think we already have a choice. I'll just change the link. Yes.
Okay.
Let me look here.
Yeah. Okay, but that was funny, right?
It was funny.
That would
It
be
was funny. I'm
Yeah.
just not going to do it because it will be so hard.
Yeah. All right.
And don't send the word choice yet. I've got to get it all set up.
Yeah.
We do this a lot. We have a lot of words. Okay.
Hey, by the way, you're talking about speaking of keywords, and while you're sending them, in fact, until Julie gets choice set up for this RSVP, text the word blessings. If you'll text the word blessings, it will take you to our Basket of Blessings charitable effort this year. Mark Radford last week donated $8,500. Yesterday, we had Alex Musselman come in from Musselman Equipment, added another $4,500 to that. You combine that with donations from Eagle Eye Produce, Biggs Realty, brokered by LPT Realty.
Good job. Power brokered.
The Biggs Group. Yeah, power brokered by LPT Realty. Also, we had Eagle Eye Produce, Timberline Auto as well. They're going to set Julie and I up with a sweet ride to deliver these baskets on Friday.
Yeah, and we're so excited. We have it all set up. We will be visiting 4 different elementary schools Friday and delivering these baskets, and you can be a part of it.
So if you text blessings to 208-542-1079, you can make a tax-deductible donation through our affiliated 501c3 Sandhill Rescue. And by the way, if you'll check back later today, if you wanted to donate with a card, we now have a link that you can use to donate with a card. I don't have that incorporated in the website yet, but if you don't want to do Venmo, then maybe check back later this afternoon. We'll tell you more about it again tomorrow, but we'd love to take your donations. Here's the thing. We've had very, very generous sponsors, listeners. We're going to be able to carry some of this over into Christmas, too. I don't think we can spend it all for Thanksgiving, so we're going to do some things for Christmas as well.
Super excited about that. So again, we're asking you, giving you a call to action with 2 words. Text the word choice to 208-542-1079. That will send you directly to the town hall link for the school choice meeting tonight in Idaho Falls. And then there's one in Pocatello tomorrow, and you'll see that on the town hall link also. And then the other keyword is blessings to 208-542-1079. And that will make it so you could donate and help us give even more good cheer to needy children in this holiday season.
By the way, special guest speakers tonight include State Representative Wendy Horman, who really carried the banner for House Bill 93 and championed that bill. She'll be joined by Jeremy Chow. He's an attorney with Gibbons Pursley, and Heidi Nessett with a group called Yes Every Kid. And we should also say it is supported by Mountain States Policy Center. So
there we go.
Okay, Julie, should we take a break?
Sure.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. It's 9:33. On News Talk 1079, 208-542-1079. Back after this. Okay, I'll be right.
All right. How are you guys? How's things? I look like I'm wearing Grandma's Afghan. It's really bright on the camera. So for you people watching, I'm so sorry about that. Are you guys lucky enough to have an Afghan from your grandma? I am not. I had one grandma who didn't sew or do anything like that. And my other grandma who did sew or did knit or do anything like that died when I was 3. So I do not. But my daughter, she had her husband's aunt just stopped by their place in Arizona and provided her with, they had finished off a quilt that my son-in-law's grandma had started, and they gifted it to them for the baby. So they actually have a gift from great grandma. She has since passed on, but a gift from great grandma for the upcoming baby, which is so incredibly sweet. What else is going on, you guys? Oh, today is We Share Wednesday. So we are interviewing a city councilman from Pocatello. His name is Corey Mangum, which is also my maiden name. Except Corey's black and I'm white.
Yeah.
We were joking while we were interviewing that we can still call ourselves cousins. It's fine.
There you go.
Yeah. And super interesting. He's written a book. His parents own Grandpa's Southern Barbecue that is located here in Idaho Falls. He talks about what it's like to be the father to 7 children, why he chose to run for city council, and he wrote a book based upon the fact that his brother died by drowning. And it spurred him on to go, I need to make sure that my kids know my feelings on faith and enduring and doing good in this world. And I never know when my last day is going to be. So he wrote a book.
Yeah.
So that's the We Share Wednesday today.
That's good. We need to see. They got the Blitz today. We're going to listen to this preview really quick here. Hold on. Okay. All right. That's the Blitz.
That's a deal.
How big is your...
They ran that same commercial for years. They
Years and
never
years.
updated it. And it had run so long, it was obvious that it had come from a previous era based upon the girl's hair and the clothes she was wearing.
Yeah. And it was the same pretty girl pulling out a tape measure. And
How big is your TV?
Worked for him, right?
It was kind of scandalous for the time that it came out.
It kind of was.
That's interesting, Stephanie. She says her cousin, is it a boy or a girl? You said my cousin belongs to a quilting club and sells quilts too. I have a brother who made beautiful quilts.
Oh,
He
really?
doesn't quilt anymore, but made beautiful quilts.
Real? Which brother?
Mike.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I can remember my mom and her friends would get together to tie a quilt, and they'd set up the quilt frames and the fabric and the batting and the fabric, and then they'd...
Yep. They'd be sitting around talking, and then you'd roll it so you could get to the center.
Yep. And I remember it used to be fun to kind of play underneath there because it was like a little clubhouse.
Yeah. Memories.
That's a memory.
Memories.
Oh,
I saved us something funny in it.
did you see that bridge collapse?
That was wacky.
That was crazy.
And it's only a few months old.
I know. It's nuts. 9:42 now. News Talk 107.9. Today is a very important day. If you want to lock in big savings on window replacement, our friends at Advanced Window Products are offering $3,500 off, Julie, for anyone who orders 10 windows or more. And they prorate it if you order fewer windows than that. So take a look at your windows. Condensation. Are they leaking? Maybe, I don't know, broken or whatever. Now may be the time to give them a call.
Yeah, and what's the risk? There is no risk. Have someone come out and do an estimate on your house and secure that $3,500 off today. Doesn't mean you have to purchase the windows, but it'll give you a good idea, and you'll secure the savings. Couple of reminders. Lifetime warranty on these windows. That includes if you break them or something happens to them, they will be covered. Also, they have financing available. Another reason to call and set up the estimate and secure the $3,500 today. The last thing that's so important is they are a company that builds the windows from start to finish. You're working with the same company throughout the entire process. Through the estimators, they manufacture the windows, the installers, everything is done under the Advanced Window Products banner.
Okay. Again, let's give out that phone number. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 208-852-8685. Again, that's 208-852-8685 to lock in that $3,500 savings. Needs to happen today. Call today.
Big savings today. So, Julie, we were just talking about the bridge collapse in China.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you guys need to look it up.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
I was going to make a joke about we have video footage of the Democrats' chances in the midterms next year. But This is radio, so it's hard to make that joke. But I don't think next time I need a big bridge built, I'm not turning to the Chinese to build it. It's probably a communist built. But
that was exactly the thought that I had is, should we trust the crap that China tries to provide to us? I don't know if we should.
I don't know if we should either.
Because this bridge was only a few months old.
Yeah, it was brand new. It was brand new. I mean, yeah. Speaking of bridges, can I give kudos to the crew that got that bridge by Blackfoot supported within just a couple of days and traffic flowing again? I thought that's pretty impressive because for a while when it happened the first day or so, I think people thought we're going to have to detour around this for months because you can't just build a bridge overnight. And they went in, they put up the support beams. I've driven past it a few times since they did it. And I don't know who's responsible for that, but kudos for acting fast and getting the traffic moving on I-15 again. That was good work. I
love it, but then there's a downside to this too. We know these things can happen faster than they generally happen.
I know. Yeah, that is true. Like, we're grateful for it.
Yeah.
But please don't set that as your expectation. I feel this is how I feel. Can I share how I feel?
Yeah.
Sharing your feeling. I think that crew should probably have been in charge of the 17th Street and 1st Street bridges in Idaho Falls.
Probably.
Those went on for freaking months.
And can they consult the interchange by Fort Hall and Chubbuck and right there? And can they also consult on the Pan-Carry Bridge? And can they?
Oh, yeah, the Pan-Carry Bridge. I forgot about that one.
And the never-ending construction right before you get to Twin Falls when you're driving from Boise.
Yeah.
Any of those projects, please consult and tell them how to do them faster.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Anyway, just to reduce it back down to the point of gratitude, I'm glad that they supported that bridge very quickly because not having I-15 open would have been very, very disruptive. So you can't go you can go under the bridge. You can't go over the bridge. So I think that's going to be shut down for a while. Are they going to have to tear that thing down?
I don't know. That would be interesting to know because it just might be completely unstable.
It might. There may have been enough damage. And have we learned the fate of the trucker?
If he's okay. I haven't had a news read that says that he has passed.
Yeah.
So I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Okay. Julie, I feel like I have used up my astronomical discussion quota this week with our Northern Lights last night. But 3-eye Atlas is beginning to emerge from outside the sun. Mm-hmm. There's weirdness with this thing. There's now jets that are going in the direction of the sun. Usually the tail is created on the opposite side of the sun. What happens, and here's the theory, this would be the scientific Occam's razor, I guess, is that as this comet goes past the sun, and comets are just made up of rock and dirt and ice, and it's just a conglomeration of stuff. Mm-hmm. And the water heats up and begins to boil in the zero atmosphere of space. There's not really any liquid water. It just goes from being ice to being steam, and it can create kind of this thrust, and it creates these long strands of stream. However, Avi Loeb, the Harvard scientist, astrophysicist, who is keeping alive this theory that it may be extraterrestrial, has already said, just in the last couple of days, these could be thrusters. That it's very possible that it is just the stream of steam that's coming off, but it's coming off in the direction of the sun. So it's almost like a salmon swimming upstream. It's fighting the solar wind to do that. So it must be pretty powerful, and a lot of the mass is coming off of 3-eye Atlas. But he's saying don't completely discount the possibility that it could be a thrusting system on an extraterrestrial craft. So
okay. Do you want it? Is that what you're hoping for? Like you're following this? Are you hoping for this?
No, it's a 50-50 proposition because it's not 50-50 whether it's extraterrestrial or not. I don't think it's extraterrestrial. I don't. It's exciting to think about it. It's like we're living in a thriller end of the world movie, right? Okay, so yeah, that part of me is a little bit excited. Do I think it is extraterrestrial? No, I do not. However, if it is, let's say it is, that's the 50-50 proposition. Either they're coming to destroy us or they're coming to help us. And heaven knows we need lots of help. But no, like if now that it's emerging from the sun and we can see it and we see these sort of thrusting streams, whatever you want to call them, if it turns in our direction and starts to come toward us, holy crap. There's going to be mass global panic. I promise you, there will be.
What do you do? How does your panic come out? What do you do?
I don't know. I'm not eating gluten-free. I know that. I'm going to go start eating cheeseburgers.
I'm living it up in those last days.
Screw keto at that point. I don't know.
I'm having a Moab burrito every freaking morning.
I'm not sure there's much you can do. Like, I'd look at it and I'd analyze it like, holy cow. I mean, and if it turns direction and these quote unquote, part of the problem is the language we use because we anthropomorphize this stuff anyway. We call them interstellar visitors.
Yeah.
Okay. As though they're lucid and they know what they're doing. They're not visiting. They just happen to be flying through our airspace or space.
Space.
Right. Yes. So they're just passing through because that's their trajectory that has been in for billions of years.
Yes. Yeah.
Their trajectory.
It's new.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it so now, I will say, and this was a little bit compelling to me. Well, I don't know if it's compelling, but it made me think. Part of the theory as to why Avi Loeb thinks that this could be more than just a natural occurrence is that as it's flying through our solar system, the timing is perfect so that it's flying very close to like 3 of our planets, which he's saying that the chance of that just being a coincidence is really, really small. So there's that. I'm not saying it's definitive, but it is an interesting observation.
Look, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to think about it at all. And you're going to be my update to it, my breaking news guy. You're just going to let me know.
Only.
Other than that, I'm not thinking about it.
Only if you won't mock me when I do tell you about it.
Okay. Do we have to talk about it every day?
If it turns in our direction, heck yes. You thought talking about the government shutdown was a big deal. You thought talking about Prop 1 last year was a big deal.
Oh, it was so annoying.
Yeah, but no, if it turns in our direction and it's coming at us, that's the only thing anybody will be talking about.
Yeah.
It won't. It's going to keep flying in its general trajectory. It might adjust a little bit because when the, gases give it a little thrust, it might move or slow down, whatever. That's probably to be expected, but yeah. All right, we got a break.
Okay, well, you're picking music update. We've been told by a few people that cannon builders out of Blackfoot were the ones that were tasked with stabilizing the bridge.
Okay.
Yes.
Kudos to cannon builders then. Nice job. We'll be back after this.
Got a super sweet message based upon that segment.
Yeah?
Somebody sent us a text, said, spoken like a couple of people who've never done a thing with their own 2 hands.
What?
So apparently making jokes about it taking a long time for a bridge to be built is at the level that they can say, I've never done anything with my own 2 hands.
Okay. I don't even think we need to respond to that. Like, that's like, holy moly.
Somebody says cannon builders did pan carry too. So at the same time of congratulating them. You want to look up his phone number? Let's see if we know this person.
Not right now. I got to fix a problem.
Okay.
That's a little 2. I don't know. Okay. Which number? Where is it?
It's down a ways, probably down 8 or 9. Last 4 digits are 4120.
Okay. I don't quite know what they're saying. We gave kudos to people who got the road going again.
We really are surrounded by people who just can't laugh.
I know. Here, let me poop on your gratitude. That's what they're doing. Don't poop on my gratitude.
Don't poop on my gratitude.
Yeah.
Both, Robert. He said, should I celebrate National French Dip Day or National Pizza with Everything Day? It's French dip for lunch and pizza for dinner.
Crap. Okay, we're back on. Hold on. And we're back on News Talk 1079. All right, we're back on News Talk 1079. Not sure what happened there, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. I have no idea what's about to happen here. So, Julie, you talk for just a minute. I got to figure something out.
You're going to figure some stuff out. Let me send out 2 more calls of action for people. We had 2 keywords that we established today that we've been chatting with you about. First, tonight in Idaho Falls, there is a meeting being held at the Hilton. It's a meeting that talks about school choice put on by the website Idaho Kids Win. We have talked with Mountain States Policy Center before, and they're the ones sponsoring this meeting. So it's going to be great information. If you want more information about that, just text the word choice to 208-542-1079. That sends you right to that website, idahokidswin.com, and it will talk with you about it sends you to the town hall meeting page where you can RSVP for the meeting tonight in Idaho Falls or the meeting tomorrow in Pocatello. So that's the first one. The second one is the word blessings to 208-542-1079. That's a link where you can donate to help us provide needy children with Thanksgiving dinners this year. We've got blankets, we've got soda for them. We also have gift cards for toys, lots of different things for those Thanksgiving blessings.
Okay, that's going to do it for the show today. It's 9:59, and Julie and I will be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.